Hey Cancer, Cancer rising, let's take a look at how March will be impacting your zodiac sign. March is an action-packed month. We are gonna have 2 retrogrades, 2 eclipses, and Neptune will be changing zodiac signs, and it hasn't changed signs since 2011, so you know that March is gonna be action-packed. If you can hear background sounds, that's my dog. He's just playing with his little tennis ball. Right, so let's kick off with Venus going retrograde because that kicks off straight away on March the 1st, okay? Venus will go retrograde at 10 degrees of Aries, and it will start off in your 10th house. And as you can see on the screen, I have your 10th and 9th house highlighted because those 2 areas of life are going to be very profound. There's a lot of back and forth energy, and I'll explain. So we kick off with Venus, the goddess of love and relationships, in your 10th house, going retrograde. So the 10th house has to do with career, goals, and ambitions. Perhaps there is a revisiting of this area. Perhaps it has to do with how much balance is in this area, how much harmony you have in this area, how happy and how fulfilled are you feeling in this area of life. And also, this could impact your creativity, perhaps your work or your goals and what you want to succeed in and what you're ambitious about requires you to kind of revisit your creativity, and perhaps that kind of has to be reassessed or changed. Perhaps this involves a loved one regarding your career or in your workspace. Perhaps there's like a relationship that could either be like a business partnership or even it could be like a romantic relationship that you have with somebody in the workspace. So this area is going to be very profound, and Venus is not going to stay in your 10th house. It will move into your 9th house. When Mercury goes retrograde on March the 15th, it will start off in your 10th house, and again, it's emphasizing on what I just spoke about. It may have to do with slowing down and assessing this area and really reconsidering and re-navigating and perhaps even negotiating this area of life. And you may have to go over certain goals and ambitions or projects at work, or even reconsider the direction you're headed towards in terms of your career. That is all going to be under like the microscope, okay? And then both Venus and Mercury will move into your 9th house that have to do with higher learning and education and travel. This also has to do with the higher mind and philosophies and spirituality. So the emphasis will go on that. This could be a slowing down in terms of travel. This could be a slowing down in terms of like your mind and how much stimulation is occurring in your mind. And even like it has to do with like your creativity and your philosophies and your ideas and even communication. But the reason why there's a slowing down is because there needs to be more attention towards those areas of life. There needs to be more attention and more care and more going over. So even though life may feel like it's slowing down and you want to move forward, but what's actually happening is the higher self or even the cosmos, the universe, whatever you believe in, is wanting you to get a little more deeper, wanting you to kind of like dissect those areas of life so you are on the right path instead of rushing. Because greatness takes time, right? Now, you're also going to have the sun move into your 10th house. You're also going to have Neptune at the end of the month that moves into your 10th house. Neptune has been in your 9th house since 2011. On March the 30th, it moves into your 10th house. And we're also going to have a partial solar eclipse on March the 29th in your 10th house. So this is emphasizing on career, goals, and ambitions and where you're headed. So with Neptune here, there could be this spiritual inspiration that occurs where you want to feel spiritually independent and spiritually free and spiritually creative in your work. Perhaps you want to dive into a career path that feels more spiritual, that has to do, and this could be your Cancerian traits, that has to do with sensitivities and perhaps even nurturing and things that are of the heart, you know, whatever you feel more closely connected to on a spiritual lens. Maybe that's what you want to pursue. Maybe that changes for you. Or perhaps with the solar eclipse that occurs on March the 29th, there is an opportunity that helps you to move forward in your career goals and ambitions. So the 10th house and the 9th house are going to be very significant for you throughout March. Now let's talk about the lunar eclipse that's going to occur on March the 14th. This is going to be a south node eclipse. If we round this eclipse up, it falls at 24 degrees. So take a look at where that falls in your chart. Because this is a lunar south node eclipse, there's an emphasis on letting go, releasing, things coming to an end, things changing from one form to another. And that can be very liberating. For you, this eclipse falls into your third house. The third house rules over the mind. It rules over communication. It rules over your environment and even your circle, your social circle, and as well as did I mention community and neighborhood and travel? Yes, all of the above. So there could be a significant change in all that I just mentioned. Perhaps something changes in your mind, your mentality. Perhaps something changes in terms of your communication, how you speak, how you communicate. Especially for you being a watery energy, you're all about opening up your hearts and, communicating your emotions and your sensitivities to those that you trust. Obviously, not everyone. So there could be a change in that. Now, there is a thing going on with your ninth house where Saturn is in the mix and it is opposing your third house. So there could be some challenge with either travel, or there could be some kind of like block or slowing down or delay with that, or even like education, or if you're working on some type of creative project, or even when it comes to like how you feel about your philosophies or your spiritual beliefs, there could be like a challenge there. But this eclipse is pushing you to make some sort of transformation in your mind, some sort of transformation in your communication. Perhaps there is something of great importance that you have to communicate during this time. This could have to do with not just verbal communication, it could even have to do with some paperwork or something like a document. It could be something important, or even in your environment, something changes. So that is the emphasis of this eclipse, okay? Just know that we do have Mercury in retrograde and Venus in retrograde, so things may not seem how they are, but regardless, change is happening. There is a greater energy behind all of this where it's pushing for change. So it's a very interesting month, okay? Make note of career, goals, ambitions. Make note of the ninth house and the third house because they're going to be profound for you. So take care and I'll catch you next month.